All right, here we go. We are back with the Divisional Championship Series here in the 2006 season. Pretty exciting wild card round here with Chris again. Welcome back,
Hello,
Chris.
hello. Used to
And
be
yeah,
from the
that first
internet
series,
again.
yeah, the first series was pretty exciting, huh?
Yeah.
Um, had the reverse sweep by Virginia over Kingston when Virginia was down to their final three outs. Your series was back and forth. Road team won every single game in a pretty evenly matched series.
hmm
Galveston beating Atlanta 3-1, even though three of those games were one-run games and were decided late. And then the one kind of lopsided series was the rematch of last year's conference championship, Montreal and New Orleans, with Montreal getting the sweep there. So on to the divisional championship series, where we have our four division winners hosting our four wild card round winners. So um, yeah, here we go.
Yeah. Let's get her started.
Let's look at the matchups real quick. Or click playoff coverage. Click back real quick.
There we go.
Yeah. So yeah, starting with Montreal and Las Vegas. So as we see here on the season, Montreal has actually taken 5 of 6 from Las Vegas, even though Las Vegas did have the best record here in the regular season. Zach had a great season, even though he had a bunch of injuries. His team was just killer, with the best offense in the Ice Conference. And I said, New Orleans was number 2. I think they tied. Looking at that 991, I feel like that's what New Orleans had too. So just crazy offense here for Las Vegas and a really good pitching staff as well, as they were second in runs allowed. Montreal, our defending champions, upset the New Orleans Mudcats in round one. 100-win New Orleans team. So they have put their playoff medal, or they flexed their playoff muscle, I should say, being defending champions, and have advanced here to the divisional championship series and have plans to get even further here. And again, season series 5-1 in terms of an advantage for Montreal. So they've handled the Las Vegas High Rollers pretty well this season, where pretty much no one has. So we'll see how this one plays out. On to the next matchup, we have Galveston and the New York Galveston Gremlins, our wild card winner, and the New York Griffins. And Galveston actually had the second best record in the entire TBL. They were just one game behind Las Vegas, but that put them as hosts for the wildcard round, and they handled that easy enough against Atlanta. They are third in runs scored, third in runs against, going against a New York team that really struggled most of the season and then got really hot down the stretch. So let's see if New York and Matt can carry that momentum here into the divisional championship series. Ninth in runs scored, fourth in runs against, and they faced off 6 times this year, with New York having the slight advantage 4-2. So we'll see how this one plays out. Next up, we have the Louisville Rivermen, Chuck, defeating the Sasquatches in the first round, and going to be facing off against the San Diego Seals. So the Seals had a really great second half of the season, probably the best second half of any team, I think, record-wise. Really took off after a huge trade for Jim Green and also for a closer, forgetting his name right now. Yeah, great season for the Seals and a great season for Chuck as he's advanced to the second round, the second straight season that the Rivermen have advanced through the wild card round, I believe. Let's see if they can get a little further and get to that conference championship this year. And San Diego missing the playoffs last year, but back in this year again with that strong season. We'll see how this one plays out. And then finally, we have the Virginia Rebels, are kind of a Cinderella of the playoffs so far, just sneaking in, and then the huge comeback against Kingston. They're going to be facing off against Michael and the Huron Herons, who, again, conference lost in the championship last year to Montreal, and just had a really great season again this year. They did kind of struggle down the stretch, so we'll see if they turn things around where they're going to be able to have a strong performance here in the playoffs. First in runs scored, second in runs against. And the Herons did win the season series 8-4. So again, we'll see how this plays out, and we'll see how this round plays out as we get started here with games number 1.
All right, let's get started. Speed that up to
Galveston,
20.
New York, starting things off. 2 base runners for the Gremlins in the first, but Jason Gart strikes out. That ends the inning. So we have our champion from 2 seasons ago in New York and our champion from last season in Montreal still alive here on the ice conference side of things. Leadoff double by Jim Wyatt. Gremlins trying to strike first here. Can you scroll over Jim Wyatt? Like how has he been on the Gremlins for a long time? A couple of years. I thought he played for someone else, Baltimore. I remember that. Louisville and San Diego is underway. Jesse Davies with a double for Louisville to start things off. Ryan Wilson, solo homer, giving New York the 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second. Juan Pacheco flies out, and it's going to put the runner on third for Louisville. Robinette gets a huge strikeout swinging, though, and Park strikes out swinging, so that's going to end the inning. We didn't do pitching matchups, so it looks like we got some studs going here today. Willie Fonseca for Las Vegas, 23-2, 3.03 ERA. Alfredo Cruz, 11-3. Brian Romo, 15-10 this season. Robinette, I know, is the ace for San Diego. Adame is a really great pitcher for Louisville, so we've got some good matchups here. I see Alex Lopez for New York. He's, one of their top pitchers. Not sure about Lugo. I think Lugo is a pretty good pitcher as well for Galveston. I can't remember. Do you want to look at Lugo real quick? It's on the top performers list. Yeah, Lugo's pretty good. So, yeah, a lot of good pitchers today. We'll see if we'll get some low-scoring games or the offenses break out. Montreal and Las Vegas has started. Man on second for the Machine early, but 2 down now. And Las Vegas gets out of it, so easy enough. Top of the first for the High Rollers. Leadoff double for Nate Elliott. And Jesse Davies singles, second hit of the game. It's going to drive in a run. Double play shortly follows.
Santiago singles, but it's 2 on, 1 out for Louisville.
I think the text, yeah, there we go. There's a double play. I think the text messed up, or I can't read. I thought it said there's a double play, but there was only 1 out in the inning, so I was very confused.
Pre-prediction.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to happen.
San Diego's another team that hasn't had much postseason success. I think they've only been to the postseason once, and I believe they got swept. Man on third, triple for Glancy. Virginia and Huron has started here. And 1-0 Virginia on the Nick Guzman single takes the lead. Jason Gard singles driving in Jeff Brown. That's going to give Galveston the 1-1 a run to tie the game 1-1. And third with 2 down, intentional walk to Jeff Brown. Galveston trying to take the lead, but Jason Gartz flies out, so New York gets out of the jam. On to the bottom of the 7th. Jesse Davies' third hit of the game, a solo homer for the Rivermen. That's going to give them a 2-0 lead in the top of the 5th.
Didn't even see it. That was quick.
Right now, Jordan Adame, no hits through 4 innings, keeping the Seals at bay. But there's the first hit. Chris Mills singles, so I did my announcing jinx, and there it is.
Shame on you.
Yeah, whether I type it in chat or I say it out loud, I never fail to jinx people in the league. You're welcome. Second and third, Jesse Glancy hits a 2-run homer for Virginia, giving them a 3-0 lead here in the top of the 3rd. So Glancy having a great game here to start things off in game 1. Second and third, 2 down now after a strikeout looking by Heine. David Ramirez strikes out swinging, so Robinette works his way out of a huge jam there. But 2-0 Rivermen still in the 6th. Going to the 9th inning here, 1-1 Galveston, New York. So a great game so far in New York. Two on, nobody out for the High Rollers, trying to get things going in that game. Still 0-0 in the bottom of the 5th. And a double play. Moves running over to 3rd, but that's 2 down now.
Chris Mills singles giving San Diego a 1 point or 1 run. Giving them 1 run.
Getting them 1 run closer. Yeah. Man on second, Matt Johnson doubles with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Let's see if New York can win the game here. Barboza at the plate. Barboza walks. It's going to bring up Wilson. 1 for 3 with a homer today. And he reaches on an error, so bases loaded now for Downin in a pinch hit opportunity. But he's not going to get it done. Fielder's choice. We're going to go into extras 1-1 in New York. Meanwhile, bases loaded for the Rivermen, trying to add to that 2-1 lead. And they do. Grand slam for Korean Kong Park. 6-1 Louisville on top of the Seals here in the top of the 7th. Bryce Owen walks to lead things off in the bottom of the 10th for the Griffins. And now Corey Madison walk and a Gary Smith singles. Bases loaded, nobody out. This is trouble here for the Gremlins. And that's game. Sack fly by Zdenek Krudis is going to win the game for New York here in the 10th. So they take a 1-0 series lead at home. Second and third, 2 outs now for the Machine as Eli Garcia strikes out looking. Looks like a pitching change for the High Rollers.
Advance on a wild
pitch. So Sullivan's going to score after the pitching change. That hurts. Tim Johnson walks now. Penalverse flies out, but 1-0 Montreal is go to the bottom of the 7th.
There we go. Get both animals off me. Trying to trying to simulate baseball games here.
Leadoff runner for Montreal. Seymour strikes out swinging quickly though. Villarreal. Still a 1-0 game. Very tight. Gonna bring us to the bottom of the eighth as George Lee grounds out. 6 outs left for the high rollers to try to get a run across. Cepeda strikes out swinging. No Weber singles. Ground out by Bennett puts him on second here for Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick lines out. So going to the top of the ninth, Montreal 1, Las Vegas 0.
Down to 2 outs for San Diego. Last out. And it's over. Louisville takes San Diego 6-1.
Bases loaded for Virginia, trying to add some insurance here against the Herons.
Last 3 outs for Las Vegas.
It's like Frank House coming in for the pitching change. Leadoff single for Alejandro Martinez for the high rollers.
Barnett doubles. Oh, and they're pouring it on now.
Aaron Harrison walks with 2 on, nobody out, but Anglin quickly flies out.
Las Vegas got a runner on first and second with 1 down on the bottom of the ninth. Down 1.
And Las Vegas walks it off. David Bell singles, driving in Martinez and Harrison 2-1 in the bottom of the ninth. How about that? So after being shut out all game long, Las Vegas takes the 2-1 lead, or 2-1 win, excuse me. That just leaves the Rebels and the Herons game, but Virginia's got this in hand in game 1. Going to take a road win here without a huge collapse. Eight nothing. Guzman walks in. Run. 10-0 as a double drives in 2 more. Chris Barnett with a huge game, 3 for 4, 2 doubles and 4 RBI. Oh, we forgot to see what record Louisville set last series. We never did check. That's funny.
Well, we
like Virginia just set a record.
Didn't matter. It was against me. We don't look into those things.
We just will remember that he set a record against you, not what it was.
Some sort of record was set against me. We just won't know what it is. If people want to do their research, just keep it to themselves.
Yeah. I'll post it in general and I'll at you for it.
Just so we know.
3 outs remaining here for the Herons. 10-0 game. Virginia continuing to stay hot after winning 3 straight against Kingston. So it's going to be their 4th straight playoff win. And Brian Romo, complete game 3 hitter for Virginia. Great pitching performance. Miguel Lugo is, 8 innings pitched, just 1 run. So all across the board, all the starters really pitched really well if you look at all those lines. Like no one had a terrible game. A couple bullpen implosions, but yeah. All right, that's it for game 1.
What do we do here?
Find some 2025 to DFA. Just DFA Nick Guidry, third baseman, or whoever you want. That works. Engo, not that guy.
DFA.
All right, on to game 2. Looks like we have Ivan Delgado pitching for the High Rollers here. It's Montreal. Against Matt Mace. So it should be a pretty good matchup here. After that, we're going to have Edwin Rodriguez for the Gremlins going against Rob Zarowski. Zarowski was a trade deadline pickup, I believe, for New York from Denver. We've got McCutcheon going for Virginia against Plinio Lerfield, the old Boston, the big Boston international signing. That
guy's rich. That's all I know.
He is rich. He's made a lot of money. He's had a good season, it looks like, or a decent season. And then Dave Burke going against Joe Butts, the rookie. So see how this plays out today.
Joe Butts. Love that.
Joe Butts. I wanted Joe Butts. He was in the inaugural draft. He was a rookie in the inaugural draft.
Matt Mace is leaving the game with an injury for Montreal.
Yeah, that's not good. Matt Mace down. That is the one bad thing about Matt Mace. He definitely is. He's like not the. He doesn't go out for long periods of time, but he gets these day-to-day injuries all the time. Feels like. See his name pop up a lot. Second and third now. David Bell doubles for Las Vegas. Ground up by Bill Weber though, gets him out of the inning. So on to the third with no score. Meanwhile, the Galveston, New York game's underway. The lead runner on for New York in the bottom half. Gary Smith singles now, 2 on, nobody out. Matt Johnson singles, so bases loaded, nobody out against Rodriguez. But grand slam for Armando Barboza, just like that, 4-0 New York before the Gremlins have retired a batter. So hot start here for the Griffins, and a solo homer by Ryan Wilson, keeping it going. 5-0 now.
Got some hot bats in New York right now.
Montreal, Paul Tizard hitting a 2-run homer, giving him the Machine a 2-0 lead over the High Rollers. Top of the fourth. Alex Alonso with a double to lead things off for the Rebels here. Virginia Herons and Herons underway.
Nick Guzman singles. Alonso scores. 1-0 Virginia.
Two on now for the Herons. They can't get anything done. A double play by Omar Gonzalez brings us to the top of the second.
Delgado is leaving the game for Las Vegas.
All right, so both starting pitchers are now out of the game here in the fifth inning. We'll see what bullpens can do. Delgado is on a roll too. He's doing pretty good, 2 runs. I mean, freaking Matt Mace got pulled, and Las Vegas has 1 hit through 5 innings.
Well, he left with an injury, so there's a reason why.
Well, that's what. Yeah. I just mean like the bullpens come in and shut the door.
Doing what they're supposed to.
Louisville and San Diego underway. Runner on for the Rivermen in the first. Jeff Brown with a single, driving in Anderson. So Galveston gets on the board, 2 on now with nobody out. Jason Gart's caught stealing second. That's a bad time to get caught stealing second, down 4. Wyatt strikes out, so that ends the inning for the Gremlins. 5-1 after 3.5.
Brian Gregory hits a sacrifice. Huron gets on the board, ties it up 1-1. Still with guys in running position. Bases loaded, 2 down. Ruben Cruz doubles and Montreal scores again, makes it 3-0.
Phil Crawhorn grounding out with the bases loaded, so Montreal leaving him, Huron leaving him stranded. Bottom of the second. Russell Stanley, solo homer for the Gremlins. Chipping away, 5-2. Second and third now after a Penalver double for the
Clark
machine.
Heine singles. Lopez scores. San Diego's up on Louisville, 1-0.
Steve Moss with the ground out, so the High Rollers get out of the inning. To the bottom of the seventh to go, down 3-0. Leadoff walk for Matt Johnson for New York.
Tim Cree, solo homer. Virginia up 2-1.
Love me some Tim Cree. If that guy ever hits free agency, watch out. Leadoff single by the Rivermen, but then Park strikes out swing, so 1 down. Home run, Vince Redmond. New York extends the lead 6-2. Second and third now for New York, threatening to add more after a CJ Downing double. And they do Gary Smith singles, 7-2 now. Matt Johnson hits a sacrifice that makes it 8-2. Two runners on, nobody out for the Herons in the bottom of the fifth against Virginia. 1 down now as Victor Rivera flies out quickly. Omar Gonzalez grants in a fielder's choice. And Pat Farrow hits a 3-run homer, giving the Herons a 4-2 lead in the bottom of the fifth. Big hit for Pat Farrow.
Las Vegas down to their final 3 outs to this game. Down 3.
Alejandro Martinez singles. Bases loaded, nobody out for Virginia all of a sudden. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Louisville. And Louisville gets a huge hit. Dustin Lutz, 3-run double. Virginia gets a huge hit. 2-run hit single for Prieto. And Louisville extends it with a double by Park. So some huge hits. Still 2 on, nobody out for Virginia. Threatening for more. And Las Vegas trying to chip away. They do score 1 on an Harrison Heron 2-run homer. 2 in the ninth, but they can't get the tying run, so 3-2 Montreal hangs on and ties the series. So the second straight game, Las Vegas tried to have some ninth inning heroics, but Montreal is able to hold on here. 4-4 bases loaded, 7-4 now. Jesse Glancy doubles, driving in all 3 runs. Prado, Bonner, Alonso, they all score. And Virginia storms all the way back to take a 7-4 lead in the top of the 6th against the Herons. Meanwhile, New York continuing to pile on against Galveston. That game's pretty much over. Dowden hits a sac fly and Smith singles. So 10-2 New York over the Gremlins. Meanwhile, Louisville Adding more with a 3-run homer by Nate Elliott. So 7-1 Louisville after, I don't know, a back-to-back big innings. Herons trying to respond here. 2 on, nobody out. Phil Crawford reaches in there. It's going to drive in a run. 7-5 now, 2 down. It's going to be it. Bases loaded, 1 out now for the Rivermen. Just absolutely smacking around the Seals pitching at the moment. 8-1 on a park sacrifice fly.
Korean Kong's been on the scoreboard a lot here.
Yep. It's on the top performers list, though, crazy enough.
It's kind of interesting. He's definitely got a couple RBIs.
Slapping a 2 on a Ryan Wilson single. New York's going to have a comfortable 2-0 series lead as they head back to Galveston for a road game. They defended their home field advantage. 7-6, Omar Gonzalez, solo homer in the 7th here to bring us 1 run closer, bringing the Herons run 1 closer. And Pat Farrow, back-to-back. All of a sudden, we have a tie game, 7-7, bottom of the 7th. So
Chris Mills also
both
doubles,
teams.
giving them 2 runs, so making it 8-3 for Louisville. San Diego chipping away at that lead.
Pat Farrow with 2 home runs this game for the Herons. 4 runs driven in. He's a rookie, I believe. Rookie catcher, right? I think he was like a top 10 prospect.
No, he's been in the league. Oh,
No, he just came up at the end last year. This is his rookie year. If you go and vote, Pat Farrow's rookie, guys. Not saying he should be rookie of the year or anything with his 40-something home runs. 7-7, 1 on, 2 outs. Esther Alonso walks. Glancy's up. Glancy's had a great playoff so far. Big hits when they need them. Let's see if he can get one here on a pitching change. Hope's in the game. Glancy singles. Going to bring up Castillo. And Castillo strikes out swinging. So that's going to bring us to the bottom of the 8th, 7-7. Quick outs for Phil Crawhorn, who singles. Victor Rivera 0 for 3 in the game. Could be a pitching change for the Rebels as Cast comes into the game. And Victor Rivera singles, driving in Phil Crawhorn. So the Herons take a 8-7 lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Omar Gonzalez walks, and it's going to bring up Pat Farrow again.
Jim Green singles. Bryce scores. San Diego's chipping away at that lead, 8-4. Louisville.
8-4, yeah, but that's in the 9th, so we'll see if they can have a big last inning here. Meanwhile, top of the 9th, Virginia last 3 outs, and they have a leadoff single by Nick Guzman. Dan Altelish lines out, 1 down. Chris Barnett strikes out swinging. It's going to be up to Tim Cree. Tim Cree goes down, so that's going to do it. Huron Herons win 8-7 to tie the series up at 1. 2 down now for the Seals. Quickly following in that game. And that will do it. Oh, no. Clark Haney walks, so still alive. That'll do it. There we go. So 8-4, Louisville takes a commanding 2-0 series lead against the Seals on the road. So
doing what they do
much
on the road.
That's what they did in the wild card as well. Yeah. So they've won 5 straight road games
so if they win
to start this playoff, which is pretty impressive.
All right, let's finish this day.
Take a look at the pitching matchups real quick. So game one, we've got Brett Johnson for the Herons going against Sanchez. We've got Inguiano. Yeah, he's a stud going against Neil Hunt. I don't recognize Chris Puente. Chris Puente, a young guy, third season actually, second season, going against Nick Tyler. And then Luis Iglesias going against Brandon Geary. So some interesting matchups, definitely getting further down the rotation here. Let's see how this game plays out. Pretty sexy to have Anguiano as your number 3, though, for New York. That's a good matchup to have here.
Nice young guy, too.
Yeah. I'll be right back. It's all you for a second.
San Diego, Louisville started. San Diego's right off hot. Mike Wilson doubles and scores. They take a 1-0 lead over Louisville. 2-0 lead with a Grim Green single. Glenn Marks doubles with nobody out for San Diego. New York and Galveston has started.
All right, I'm back. Jim Green, big hit, huh?
Oh, yeah. First inning.
About time we see his name on the scoreboard.
He was on it yesterday.
Oh, okay. Zero zero in the fifth. Herons and the Rebels, huh?
Pitching duel up there.
So far. Rod Sanchez pitching great. 6 strikeouts. 7 strikeouts. And that's really been Virginia's success so far is good pitching. So they turned things around against Kingston. That's how they won game one here. So with apologies to game two. Verdugo, huge two-run homer here in the top of the first, giving Las Vegas an early lead over the Machine. Two on, nobody out for Montreal, and they get a run on a ground out by Paul Tizard, 2-1. It's tied up on a Steve Moss single, so just like that, Montreal ties it up with just one down. First and third with two down now for the Rebels, bottom of the sixth. But Nick Guzman strikes out. Sanchez's eighth strikeout of the game, big strikeout there. Going to the top of the seventh, 0-0. Galveston on the board on a sac fly by Jeff Brown. They take a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the third. Chris Mills with a single, driving in Bryce. 3-0 San Diego. And Huron Herons at another on an Alberto double. Or they get the first two, excuse me. Trevian Rivera and Carter taking a 2-0 lead in the top of the seventh here. 2 on, nobody out for Montreal. Huge hit for Eduardo Alberto, taking the lead, giving the lead to the Herons. Johnson at the plate in the man on third, and he drives in the run with a single. Cruz scores. Pedover now up, but Montreal takes the 3-2 score lead. Louisville gets two back on a Nate Elliott homer closer, and they tie it up on a Jesse Davies solo homer. So 3-3 in a blink of an eye. Louisville's tied this game.
They're hungry for their first home win.
I think the Seals are hungry for their first playoff win. Mike Anderson solo homer, giving the Gremlins another run, 2-0. Rod Sanchez, 8 innings pitched now. Pitching absolutely pitching great, but in a losing effort right now. Park doubles with one out for the Rivermen. Two down now on a Marshburn flyout. And the Seals get out of the inning. Marco Cepeda leaves the game with an injury for the Las Vegas High Rollers. First and third, but they can't get a run across. Montreal gets out of the inning, bottom of the fourth. Bill Bryce hits a solo homer, giving the Seals the 4-3 lead in the top of the seventh. Domingo Solorzano singles, driving in Jim Wyatt, 3-0 Gremlins. Alejandro Martinez doubles, driving in the tying run for the Las Vegas High Rollers, 3-3 now in the fifth.
Virginia ties it 2-2.
What a hit! Wow, what a hit for Chris Barnett. Bottom of the ninth, tying it up 2-2. Virginia, it just doesn't know how to quit here. Crazy. 2 on, 2 outs now. Crazy. And we go to the 10th. So the Virginia Rebels with more heroics late in ball games, and they force extra innings here. Chris Barnett's been great so far. Jonathan Vickers leadoff single for the Herons. 2 down though in a double play. 3 outs, first and third for the Rivermen down by 1. Bases loaded now. And they get a huge hit. Dan Davis doubles, driving in 3. So the Rivermen take the 6-4 lead in the bottom of the 8th. That's going to put the Seals down to their final 3 outs here. Meanwhile, Gremlins extending their lead with a 2-run double.
We got 2 on,
first
2
and
out.
Third for the Rebels with 2 out. Yep. Pitching change. Blanco's coming into the game. Seals have 2 down, 1 on. Herons get out of the inning. Seals threatening here.
Plath doubles, 2 score. Montreal takes a 2-run lead, makes it 5-3.
That's the final. Louisville takes the commanding 3-0 series lead with an 8th inning heroic hit by Dan Davis and a 6-4 win. And now San Diego's got a big uphill climb to try to get out of this hole. Montreal singles, driving in Plath, so extending that lead now, 6-3 for the Machine. Rob Spires, another big hit, so 7-1 now. Galveston all over New York this game. Going to get their first win of the series. 2 on, 1 out for Virginia. 2 out now as Westfall strikes out. And that's going to do it. Alex Alonso, 3-run homer in the bottom of the 11th. Virginia completes their heroic comeback, and they're going to take a 2-1 series lead against the Herons here.
And it's another final. We've got Galveston 7-1 over New York.
So Galveston closes the door. New York still has that 2-1 series lead, but that's first step back for Galveston to make this a closer series. Three outs remaining for the High Rollers here. Montreal, bottom of the 8th. Travis Plath walks. And Eli Garcia doubles, driving him in. An insurance run. On to the top of the 9th. Two on. Walking in there. Pitching change as Clemens is coming to the game, trying to shut the door. And he does. So Montreal hangs on for the 3 win, taking the 2-1 series lead against the Las Vegas High Rollers. We are on to game 4. I think we got 3-2-1 series and a 3-0 series.
Looking
See
at
our
game
pitching
4.
matchups. Got Elijah Porter here. Yeah. Looks like he got a pickup from us, Lehigh. And Travis
Travis Swenson.
Swenson, longtime pitcher on the machine. Nick Schneider here, who's been pretty good for the Seals over the last few years. And Eric Pierce, one of the better pitchers on the Rivermen, a good guy for a closeout game. Ryan Kronk and Eric Ryan. So Galveston's got a sick rotation. And D. La Cruz is going against Robin Allen here, a longtime Virginia Rebel. So yeah, let's see how game 4 plays out. And then after game 4s, we'll kick it back to the GMs that are still alive to see what they want to do. If people are around, we can keep going tonight. If not, we'll probably wrap it up tomorrow. So, alrighty.
Let's start it up.
If you are on and watching and you're a GM in the competition, just let me know if you want changes, if you need the file. Feel free to DM me. Two on for the Rivermen. Quick first inning for these two teams. These 4 teams, excuse me.
These two matchups.
2 matchups.
Oh man.
Travis Plath, solo home run, 1-0 Montreal over the High Rollers. First and third, and a Clark Heine's double. Jason Chris Mills. So San Diego strikes first, 1-0, 2-on now. David Ramirez grounds out. That's all they're going to get. 1-0, going to the bottom of the second.
New York and Galveston has started.
First and third, Jared Gilbert singles, and Louisville ties it up here on a Nieto sacrifice. So 1 down, man on first. And it's 1-1 here now, bottom of the second. Okay. Jeff Brown steals second here after a leadoff single. And Aaron Harrison doubles, driving in a run. So Las Vegas ties it up 1-1, and then takes the 2-1 lead on a Verdugo groundout. 1 out. England sacrifices a small ball, getting the job done for the High Rollers, taking a 3-1 lead here in the top of the 4th. Moving on to the bottom of the 4th now. Meanwhile, the game in Huron, between Huron and Virginia, has started. Sergio Regini doubles for New York. one out. Man on third with two down for Montreal, but they can't get a run across. We're going to the top of the fifth there. Gary Smith singles, first and third, one down. New York threatening. And Dave Castillo hits a two-run homer for the Virginia Rebels in the bottom of the 2-0 lead. Juan Juarez doubles for Galveston to lead things off in the bottom of the third. Both teams threatening. Let's see who's going to punch first. Pat Farrow hits a solo homer to get one back for the Herons in the 2-1. Two to two now as Ricky Rodriguez doubles to try to run in. And it's tied up now between San Diego and Louisville as well. Oh no, that was already tied on a sac fly. I missed that. Galveston with the 1-0 lead. Glenn Marks doubles for San Diego. 3-2 lead now for the Herons too, as well as they extend the lead over, or take the lead over the Rebels. And Bryce Owens doubles, driving in two. So New York takes the 2-run lead, and then Regini adds one. So 3-1 New York over the Gremlins. Gary Smith singles, keeping it going, 4-1. San Diego up 2-1 now on the Rivermen. Rivermen tie it though on a Juan Pacheco single, 2-2 here in the bottom of the fifth. Scores. Marco Alberto singles, driving in a run for the Herons, 4-2 as they extend the lead. Brian Gregory with that other single that gave them the go-ahead run. Old Paddlers catcher. Terrible offensively, great defensively. Jim Green hits a solo homer for the Seals, giving them the sixth. San Diego try to stay alive here in the series. Chris Mills with a single now. Dave Castillo singles, first and third with one out, and Nick Guzman grounds into the fielder's choice. So that's going to drive in a run. 4-3 as the Rebels get one back. Andy Mashburn, leadoff single for the Rivermen. It's a double play, ends the inning. We're going to go to the top of the seventh. The Seals have a 3-2 score lead. Paul Tizard's going to single drive in Tim Johnson. Montreal gets one closer, 3-2, and New York extends the lead 5-1 with a Regini single. Regini's having a great game here, 3 for 3 with two doubles. Second and third after a wild pitch with one out for New York, trying to get more. Close the door here. Get one on his Crudis single.
Bill
Bryce doubles, driving in a run for the Seals, giving them an insurance run. Second and third is one out. Mike Wilson pops out, so second and third are two down now for Jim Green. Jim Green pops out, so 4-2 going to the bottom of the seventh. 4-3. Herons threatening to add some insurance here with two on and nobody out. Bases loaded now, nobody out. Galveston threatening to chip away.
And they do.
Jeff Brown singles, driving in a run. Virginia gets out of the bases loaded, nobody out jam, so they keep it a 1-run game. Let's see sequential as we keep going here.
And we got a final with Las Vegas taking over Montreal, tying up that series.
That's great. I didn't even see how close that game was going to finish. That's great. So 2-2 there, right?
2-2.
Close game. Just 3 hits, and the High Rollers get the win, 3-2. It's fantastic. Jim Wyatt doubles, driving in 3. So Galveston pulling this game to within 1 run here after being down 6-1. So 6-5 now as we go to the top of the 7th. Huge hit for Jim Wyatt. 9th inning now for the Seals and Rivermen.
Seals trying to add on some insurance for him. 2 down with runner on second.
First and third for the Rebels, 2 down, and the man on second, 2 down for the Gremlins. See if either one can punch through. Both down by a run. Bases loaded now for the Rebels. Galveston ends the inning, and the Rebels end the inning, so neither one can get a run. Go to the top of the 8th. 2 outs remaining for the Rivermen here, down 4-2. In the 9th, David Walter walks, so and a walk to Guevara. 2-1 all of a sudden for the Rivermen.
Omar Gonzalez gets a solo homer, extending their lead.
And that's the final. The Seals win their first playoff game 4-2, so they're Rivermen still have the commanding 3-1 series lead. Jeff Brown walks for Galveston. Lead things off in the bottom of the 8th. 6 outs remaining. They're trying to tie things up here. 2 on, nobody out for the Rebels, so they're trying to respond here. Dave Castillo with a 4-hit game. Travis Miller walks, 2 on, 1 out. Pitching change for the Griffins. Rosario's coming into the game. 3-run homer for Chris Bennett, bottom of the 7th. That's going to give Virginia the 6-5 lead. Huge hit. Bases loaded, 1 out now for the Gremlins, and they tie the game on a Tyler Johnson line, the bottom of the 8th. So Lozano walks, so they're not done yet. Dan Dark strikes out looking, so that ends the inning. 6-6 going to the top of the 9th in Galveston. And the Herons tie the game on a Jesse Carter single and take the lead. Brian Gregory hits a sacrifice fly, and then Kareem almost doubles, so 8-6 now, top of the 8th. So
Kareem,
quick response from the Herons. Famos Amos. Famous Amos.
Whatever.
2 on, 1, and that's going to end the inning for New York, so they can't get a run across. So it's going to bring Galveston up, bottom of the 9th. Leadoff runner for the Rebels, down 8-6. Ryan Bonner singles. Man on second, Jeff Brown doubles with 2 down here for Galveston. Intentional walk to Gartz. It's going to bring up Betcher, and Betcher ends it. A single driving in Brown, so Galveston walks it off in the bottom of the 9th inning. They are going to tie that series up.
They are
can't remember.
They are tied.
Thanks,
They are tied up. You are correct.
So yeah, 2-2. And Virginia can't take advantage of the man on base, so 8-6 goes top of the 9th here. Some crazy antics late. 1, 2, 3, go the Herons in the top of the ninth. So let's see if Virginia has any last magic left here. One down. Nick Guzman flies out. Also, Ish rounds out. There's a Chris Barnett double. He's a hard out to get for today.
Cree walks. And it's ball game.
That's going to do it. So we've got 3-2-2 series and a 3-1 series going to game 5. Everybody's still alive. So some pretty great last minute finishes there. We'll drop a file. I think it's hard to have 8 GMs on in the right place at the right time, but hopefully we'll finish up tonight, or if not, maybe we'll finish up early tomorrow and keep this thing going. So congratulations to all the GMs and the results so far, and we'll see you next time.
Catch you later, folks.